Okay, here's the video from group number 9, Maria, Frederik, Kjartan, and Lars. I will tell a little about the story of Hansen ice cream, and it began in 1922. Hans Hansen started with his dairy business here and the manufacture of the crustal ice. Crustal ice cream, there are not many who know longer, but at the time were larger blocks of ice used to cool in the ice cabinets. The milk they use comes from 120 Jersey cows from Svaneholmen Kollektivet and 130 red Danish dairy cows from Stenbølgegård. All the cows goes on grass and they walk just 10 minutes from the dairy company. It is important for Hansen Ice that their raw materials are the best quality and organic. So, the conclusion for our project with Hansen Ice will be that Germany is the most relevant market for Hansen Ice to, and here you will see why. And the agenda. Should the company go international? Benchmarking, entry modes, growth strategy, strategy capabilities, environment, SWOT, financials, and then the conclusion. Okay, the 9 windows. When we look at the 9 windows, we need to see if the company has the potential to go on the international market. We do not believe that it's a company that should be on the domestic market as what the window 1 says, but that they have the potential through their products. By studies, we can see that organic products takes more and more on the market. We see Hansen Ice to be able, adulten and mature. Hansen Ice is an old company with a great values. Most of the Danes already know this company and consider it to be good quality. Hansen Ice is currently potentially to go global. So Hansen Ice is placed in 5-6 because the next step is to go more global than they are.
In our chosen countries, if we look at the whole world, Germany is known to be more hierarchical, and you as an employer must announce your bosses with Mr. and Mrs. But since we're distributing our products to grocery stores, the power distance will not be a problem. The next part is individualism. In these countries, individualism is very high, and people often focusing on their own work rather than others' work. All the 3 countries look the same when it comes to individualism. For example, people who are individuals are expected to take care of only themselves and their closest family. Next part is masculinity. Especially when we look at the masculinity, German society is driven by competition, achievement, and success. With success being defined by the winner or the best in the field, a value system that starts in school and continues throughout organizational life. Where in Denmark and Sweden, it's more feminine dimension that drives the work life. A feminine society is one where quality of life is a sign of success, and standing out from the crowd is not admirable. Uncertainty orientation. In Denmark and Sweden, uncertain orientation is not a big factor. A weak, uncertain orientation maintain a more relaxed attitude in which practice counts more than principles. But when we look at Germany, they have a high UAI, let's just call it that, which makes them uncomfortable when not knowing what happens next. Germans need to know the exact plan on how to do it, when to do it, and so on. Also, in Germany, people try to protect themselves with laws or company rules, which they tend to follow in each situation. In Denmark and Sweden, with low uncertainty avoidance, company activities are less formal and structured, managers take greater risk, and job mobility is high. The fundamental issue here is how a society deals with the fact that the future can never be known. Should we try to control the future or just let it happen? So, as a Danish company, when doing business with Germans, you should not expect to become friends, but be prepared for the meeting. Long-term orientation. Every society has to maintain some links with its own past while dealing with the challenges of the present and the future. Society prioritizes these two essential goals differently. Denmark and Sweden and Germany are countries that do their best to adapt to the unknown. Countries like these take a more pragmatic approach. They encourage thrift and effort in modern education as a way to prepare for the future. Countries like these mostly focusing on the long term. Indulgence stands for a society that allows relatively free gratification of basic and natural human drives related to enjoy life and having fun. Restraint stands for a society that suppresses gratification and needs and regulate it by means of a strict social norms. Denmark is indulgent and Germany is restrained.
We have also created the portrait of our chosen new market according to the Trompenaars 7 dimensions model. And from this model, we can tell that Germany is the best potential country in Europe to start our expansion. Germans place a high importance on laws, rules, values, and obligations. The rules come before the relationships. They can keep promises and be consistent. They are also more collective than any other westernized country, and there are similarities with China, but the method of working is different. Those in Germany are part of a machine, and therefore work as individuals within a group. They are considered as neutral when it comes to their emotions. Reason influences their actions far more than their feeling. Germans believe that you are what you do, and they base your worth accordingly. They place a high value on punctuality, planning, and staying on schedule. In this culture, time is money, and people don't appreciate it when their schedule is thrown off.
Here we have the Berry model. We put 4 countries up against each other and gave them score points in the criteria that are most important to Hansen's ease to enter a new country. We found that organic and milk consumption is the most important factors, and then factors like animal welfare. As can be seen, Germany scored the highest points in almost all the criteria. Germany ends up in the top with a final score of 82 points. We had chosen export because it has low control, low risk, high flexibility, and low influence.
So our growth strategy is going to be market development. First of all, we're going to set some specific goals and objectives we're going to reach, and our goals at the moment is just to increase our sale to make more profit on the new market. And after a couple of years, we can review it, report it, and fine-tune it to make it better. So our growth strategy will grow with time.
Now we have the BMC of Hansen. One of the most important features in it, it's key partners. They strategically pick out the partners they need to make the ice cream. Except the milk is getting from a farming in Jægerspris, we're transporting to Hansen to make the ice out from milk instead of milk powder, where many uses that. Then they have the ingredients to the different ice. They have special ingredients to the chocolate ice, to the mocha ice, and to the vanilla ice. It's the best vanilla they can get, best chocolate, and best coffee they can get to their ice creams. And if you want to see the full business model canvas, you can go in the link description down in the corner.
Okay, when it comes to analyzing our strategic capabilities, we use the VRIN model. We took under consideration 3 capabilities. That was supply chain, our product itself, and also prices. We came up with conclusion and found a few interesting aspects. First of all, our supply chain. Hansen's Ice gets milk from Danish suppliers, which gives them the key advantages: lower prices. Also, they get high-quality additional products like vanilla from Madagascar or Congo. Also valuable, they are highest quality, made with traditional recipe with a classical production process. That also make them rare and sort of hard to substitute. Last capability was the price, which, compared to the other high-quality ice cream companies, such as Jacob & Jacob or Ben & Jerry, are significantly lower. The competition prices are almost twice as big. Okay, so we used PESTEL model to analyze how the environment looks like. We started with politics and law. And first of all, I want to say the organic production is regulated by the EU Organic Regulation and of the Danish law on ecology. Environment and Food Ministry has set aside 2.4 billion kroner to ecology from 2009 to 2015. The ministry provides grants for the production, processing and sales of organic products. This occurs, among other things, through support for farmers who want to convert to organic, bets for promotion, environmental improvements, innovation, as well as grants for institutions who want to buy organic. Economic and socio-cultural aspects come hand in hand in this case, because since Denmark has a high purchasing power due to a rising disposable income, people make more money, therefore have a tendency to buy quality products. Economic growth, inflation and interest rates can all have an impact on the company. Since they purchase their products from outside EU countries, for example vanilla from Madagascar, the economy of these countries has huge influence on Hansen fluid ice. One of the important processes for ice flavor is pasteurization. On the major fishing ports used what is called plate appliance for pasteurization, while the process only takes a few seconds. With Hansen's, it takes the corresponding warming of ice-cream a whole hour, which means that the natural structure is retained, and it is just one good example. Okay.
And here you can see our SWOT for Hansen ice cream. You can see in the strange we have quality products, opportunities. You can see growth quality, awareness, weakness. We have, for example, season-based product and fresh seasons epidemic.
When we see on the financial part, we have 4 loans we could choose. We have choose the non-repayment annuities loan. Because we've chosen that is the first 2 years of the 10 years we're going to pay back the money. We don't need to pay back repayments, only the rent. And that is a good part when we are entering a new market to sell Hansenese, because we need to have as a normal cash flow so we can pay the loan back, instead of using the equality or the Danish cash flow to pay it. And the conclusion of this project is we're going for Germany. We're going for Germany on this case. We're going to expand globalizing Germany after the screenings, and we have found that Germany is one of the best markets for Hansenese to start a new sales on.